でもなんだこの感触が舌気持ちいい柔らかい柔らかいなんだこれ舌口の中でとろけてるぞ
Number 20, Denji's first kiss. Chainsaw Man. Amid the blood, guts, and devils, somehow a kiss ended up as the grossest part in all of Chainsaw Man.
デンジ君は私とキスしたいから死なないもんね。
Most of that is Himeno's doing, who drunkenly ensures that Denji's first smooch is very memorable, for better or for worse. It's no quick peck, that's for certain, and the intense close-ups are sure to make the uninitiated get the wrong idea about this show. But as if that's not bad enough, the scene ends with more than just Himeno's tongue in Denji's mouth. For as gruesome as devil hunting can be, it's still gotta be less traumatizing than this.
羨ましいだとこっちやよファーストキスはゲロの味だぜ
Number 19, 18 plus concerts. Detroit Metal City. Shows like this are why we have a mute button. Not because the music's bad by any stretch of the word. As a matter of fact, it's downright rocking most of the time. The issue is that the namesake band's performances also include obscene lyrics, questionably illegal acts, and a whole lot of crude humor. As expected, not all of it has aged very gracefully, but honestly, earmuffs might not be enough. Given the incredible density of offense, lewd, and altogether inappropriate content, blindfolds might be in order too. All in all, it's something of a dual-edged guitar string that the concerts are equally the best and most dangerous parts of the series. Number 18, Mama Mamako. Do you love your mom and her two-hit multi-target attacks?
母さんの膝枕だな
そうね。だってお母さんの膝枕だもの。
Don't let this anime's name fool you. This is most definitely not a show to watch with your mother. At all, no exceptions, without any ifs, ands, or buts. Because when the MC talks about loving his mum, he means he really loves her, and evidently, so did the animators.
そういうわけで。二人とも早くいらっしゃい。
Ever since Mamako was whisked into the video game world, they've painstakingly drawn her in some rather sticky situations. There's honestly too many to list, so this serves as a blanket warning for the entire show. Unless you want to be accused of having some major Oedipus complex, this is an anime only to be seen in the dark of night.
これからお母さんと一緒にたくさん冒険しましょうね、マーク。なんだこれ
Number 17, Potty Humor. Golden Boy. Kintaro's quest to get laid has plenty of moments that necessitate headphones. But the one that'll really earn you some stares is when he isn't even with a woman.
Oh, my beautiful queen's throne. This is where she sits.
Instead, Kintaro has a bizarre thing for toilets, and he makes his perversion all too clear in a scene that flushes for itself.
Oh, my queen. Oh, you're so naughty.
Then, just for good measure, he decides to give himself a personal swirly in the toilet water. The end result is a moment that sends the shame of both the show and its viewers down the drain.
Oh, yeah.
A pervert as well.
At least it has the rare honor of being a scene that's just as bizarre in context as without it. Number 16, Smooching Sounds. Rent a Girlfriend. No one can say Ruka's first kiss lacked passion, least of all Kazuya.
何してんのルカちゃん
To prove it, the animators definitely pulled their weight with those detailed lips. The only thing is that the actors did the same. Sure, it's a big moment for the show, but they went way too hard on the vocal efforts, to the point it gets the idea across a bit too well. Without any visual aid, the very breathy sounds could easily be misinterpreted as something a little bit more. Like, say, a full home run instead of just a pit stop at first base. To be safe, it's best to just watch this one with the sound off. Number 15, Tamaki's burning desires. Fire Force. One would think that, of all professions, firefighters would endeavor to keep their gear on. Apparently, Tamaki missed that day in training.
玉木こたつ無垢な見た目とは裏腹にハレンチ極まりないあの存在
So instead, she's developed the nasty habit of losing her clothes in the heat of battle. And no, it's not just a one-off either. As a matter of fact, it sometimes feels like she spends more time out of uniform than in it.
これはこの初々しい恥じらい
Since she's one of the series' female leads, there's no way of ever knowing how close you are from another unfortunate groping incident. In a way, that means she's more dangerous than the fires she fights. They come with alarms and warnings. Tamaki doesn't.
ラッキースケベラレが止まらない。
なぜ脱げてる記憶が飛んだのか
Number 14, hit the showers. Hajime no Ippo. When Ippo decided to step in the ring, this probably wasn't the kind of contest he had in mind. But a gym locker room is its own kind of battlefield, and he learns that the hard way when his manhood comes into question.
What's that skirt you got around your waist?
What? It's a towel.
Except it doesn't stop there, as Takamura decides to put his money where his towel is by exposing Ippo's junk in front of everyone, without consent of course.
Let's see what you got under there.
But
Could yours be like this? Oh, don't worry. They say size doesn't matter.
It's all blurred out, but it's still more genitalia than anyone probably expected from a boxing anime. Afterwards, Ippo claims he'll never shower with Takamura ever again, and that's probably for the best. Number 13, Hotel Photo Shoots. My dress-up darling. All season long, this slow burn romance had been cute, wholesome fun for the whole family. Then, with one wrong move, Gojo single-handedly bumped up the show's age rating. At least so it seemed.
隣の部屋からなんか声が。そうだ、俺たちは今ラブホテルにいるんだ。
In his quest to find a good photo shoot location, he and Kitagawa ended up in a hotel that's more than just for weary travelers. And it has all the toys and atmosphere to prove it.
北川さん、今すぐ俺から降りてください。
Nothing actually happens between the two, but the blushed faces and shaking bed leave a very different message for anyone just passing through. At the very least, no one watching the show will be any more embarrassed than Gojo already is. Number 12, the butt of the joke. Gintama. All in all, Gintama is a warm, heartfelt adventure anime. Just one that happens to have more than its fair share of butt jokes.
ほら、早くサルトビさん薬塗ってあげて。
すいませんお願いします
Any number of them would be difficult to explain for those unfamiliar with the series' humor, but words fail to find any way to justify this intimate moment between Gin and Zenzo. Here, Gintama's hero is caught trying to pull a candle out of a place a candle should never ever be.
銀ちゃん元気にしてるあのか
お見舞いに来ましたよ。
Don't ask how it got there, where it came from, or why Gin of all people is doing surgery on it. All that matters is the knowledge to skip this episode when kids, parents, or elderly are around. Number 11, No Light for Darkness. Konosuba, God's blessing on this wonderful world. Busty female knights aren't anything new to isekai anime, but for the first time, this femme fatale enjoys taking pain as much as dishing it out. So whether she's winning or losing a fight, darkness is always the real victor.
くわさすがはセクハラにかけては並ぶものがないカズマさん本当に引くわ
She makes that fact very clear too, with some not so subtle moaning and very horny smack talk. It's so egregious that, out of context, it could easily make this fantasy show seem like a very, very different type of adult animation. In the end, the biggest losers aren't her victims. It's the poor audience that risks someone walking in any time that darkness puts up her dukes.
突然こんな仕打ちとは嫌いではないが時と場所を考えてくれ。
違う妙なプレイじゃないこれはこうするんだよ
Number 10, the massage. We never learn. This is the reason why you watch anime with headphones on. When Naruyuki's mother asks him to help out at the massage parlor, he dons the mascot outfit to help promote the store.
嘘だろ素人がこんなんやって大丈夫なの
But when the manager has to step out, they put him in charge of massages. Lo and behold, the power of coincidences, his teacher is the first client. Of course, he can't reveal his identity, so he powers through and gives his first massage while still wearing the costume. As a parlor staff member comes by to help him, we're suddenly greeted with some loud moans. Better turn the volume down on this one. Number 9, the vacuum scene. Watamote. No matter how I look at it, it's your guys' fault I'm not popular.
よっしゃいける。
How far would you be willing to go to become popular in school? Tomoko is a bit of a loner, who is well versed in the world of otome games. As such, she tries out various methods to improve her social status. One of those things is pretending to get a hickey from her boyfriend. But of course, she doesn't have one. So instead, she uses her vacuum cleaner to fake some.
完璧だ。
The result is less of what looks like a hickey and more of a contagious disease. But the moments where she accidentally covers her mouth with the hose is ripe for misunderstanding.
どうしたのそれ
Number 8, Baki's first time. Baki. When a parent has the talk with their child, it's typically an awkward affair. But Yujiro isn't your typical parent. The fighter, Baki Hanma, finally has Kozue in his bed. The two get closer, inches away from each other, when suddenly, his dad appears. What follows is perhaps the weirdest motivational speech you could ever receive from a father regarding doing the dirty. He encourages the two to do it until they tire, never stop, and take pride in the act.
飽き果てるまで食らえ食らって食らって食らい尽くせ
He congratulates the two and then shortly leaves. It comes out of nowhere and might require a bit of explaining if someone jumped into the series from here.
祝福するぜ二人とも
Number 7, Gakuto soils himself. Prison School. Prison School is a series that you wouldn't want to watch around anyone conservative with their humor. Despite the show being full of fan service ripe for misinterpretation, this moment is perhaps the most awkward to be walked in on. Takehito devises a plan where Kiyoshi can play back audio of pooping to distract while he sneaks out of the lavatory so he can get on his date. But no matter what he does, he can't download the audio online, meaning he has to record the audio himself.
出てこないなら出せばいい
And so, after some dramatic back and forth, he loudly defecates in front of everybody.
清殿あとは頼んだでござるガクトごめん
Your parents will be wondering if you need some extra toilet paper after this one.
先生トイレに行かせてください
もちろんどうぞ。
Number 6, Hot Spring Scene. Various. Japanese animation is awash with fan service of every kind, but perhaps the most famous and widespread situation in anime is the classic hot spring scene.
ごめんなさ。
No matter what you do, if there is a harem of women in the series, they will no doubt head to the bathhouse at some point. As a result, you might be watching a space opera, superhero anime, or innocent rom-com that for the most part is fairly tame.
相変わらずいい眺めだな
Only for your folks to walk in at the worst possible moment when everybody has their bits out. Beware anime viewers, work on those browser tabbing skills if you want to avoid some sudden embarrassment.
Oh, so this is what people find appealing about hot springs, huh?
Most definitely.
Number 5, Foodgasms.
Food Wars, Shokugeki no Soma. There is so much you can learn from a series. You can learn about history, martial arts, and in the case of Food Wars, how to cook a delicious meal. Teenager Soma takes us on a journey as he perfects his culinary talents to become a full-time chef. With a plot like that, you wouldn't be afraid to invite your parents to sit down and watch. But then people's clothes are ripping off and screaming with pleasure over the taste of food. I mean, what did we expect? We're so used to the over-dramatization, this should be no surprise. So if you're caught off guard by this moment, you haven't watched enough anime. Number 4, Harem Transformation, Naruto franchise. Naruto Uzumaki's ninja quest to become the next Hokage is filled with fantastic action and heart-wrenching drama. However, it still has tropes that might make your parents question what you're watching. One of these moments is Naruto's sexy jutsu. While he may have trouble transforming into other ninja, he's so familiar with the image of a bear woman that he can poof into one as a way to defeat his enemies. It's a recurring joke across the many different series, and the worst part is that it comes out of nowhere. You can have Naruto giving an inspirational speech about how to never give up, only for him to send everyone in the audience home with a nosebleed. Number 3, that sniper scene, High School of the Dead. When Studio Madhouse created this show, they knew what they were doing, and fully leaned into the gore and raunchiness the setting would provide. As the group gets trapped with a horde of zombies fastly approaching, the team unloads everything they've got. Takashi loses his shotgun bullets protecting an injured Rei, so he resorts to using the rifle that's still attached to her. Bullets fly, chests bounce, and inexplicably deny the laws of physics while camera angles reveal all. It is perhaps one of the most ridiculous scenes to ever have been created, and it's not something you want to be caught watching, but it is awesome. Number 2, Magnet Scene, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders. With a title like that, it's no wonder things can get a bit outlandish. With the various stand powers each of the characters possess, all sorts of interesting and sometimes hilarious situations unfold. In one episode, Joseph and Avdol get cursed with magnetism. This results in the two attracting metal towards them at an alarming speed, eventually getting the two stuck together. As they try to peel away from each other, they end up in all sorts of questionable positions, something that the crowd and audiences could easily misinterpret. While it's played for comedic effect, it would become a lot less funny if someone was to walk in on you watching it. Number 1, Toothbrush Scene, Nisei Monogatari. Who knew personal hygiene would be so hard to explain? When Karen begs her brother to introduce her to his friend Kanbaru, Koyomi decides to play a game. If his sister can last 5 minutes with him brushing her teeth without bowing out, he will do as she asks. As they begin, things get progressively more erotic, as Koyomi pushes the boundaries. It's only worsened by the rising music and visuals escalating the romantics of the scene, climaxing with Tsukihi walking in on this intimate moment. Even with context, it would still be a little weird to catch you watching this scene. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.